What's up, peeps? It's Danila here, and welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where you learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Another day, another chance to learn English, and today I've prepared another solo episode for you guys. Today, I just want to talk to you about an interesting topic. The more we notice, the less we judge, right? It's a beautiful topic, what I want to discuss, because we have people all around. And I want to have this discussion, not just interesting or educational. I want it to be a little bit philosophical as well. I want to push yourself forward and think of how other people think, what do they think, and to reflect on these important things. So we will learn some constructions in English, and we will look at an interesting angle. Maybe we will have many angles. We'll see. I hope this will be a pretty interesting discussion. I have just some notes here with some, let's say, points, what I want to talk about. And sometimes I will look here just to double check where am I and where are we going. All right. I hope you're listening to this podcast in a very comfortable state, because this episode is about comfort. And I will try to teach you to think about yourself and about people who surrounds you today. And we'll do it in English. So the main purpose of today's episode is learning with an interesting life experiences. And I have a couple questions first, right? Sometimes we walk around and we see families, we see mothers, we see fathers, we see people who are drinking coffee, we see people who are playing sport games, right? Maybe football, basketball. We see some people who are working out, right? So we see many things around us. And all these moments gives us a good pictures or ideas that kind of stimulate us to compare our lives with the lives of people who surrounds us. And when we analyze our life, we can do this with comparison. Is it good or is it bad? It's a good question. I would say, or I would stand for the idea that it's a neutral position. Sometimes it's pretty effective to compare your life with the life of others. But sometimes it's better to be just the person who is looking, to be a spectator of someone's life. And when you're walking around, when you're looking at the trees, or when you're looking at the nature, you are a spectator. You're the person who is looking, right? Who's seeing something. And when you see the person, you start thinking about this person. You start analyzing what this person is doing today, or with what this person was doing yesterday, what this person going to do, right? Or going to do in general as a plan. It's very interesting because you have your personal emotions and you becoming interested, different emotions, what other people feel. And when you see a person who is smiling, you asking yourself why this person is smiling. Or if you see the kid who is running and, giggling like, something like that, you understand that, wow, something good is happening in this kid's life. And these little things, what happens to us during the life is beautiful. But as more we live, as less attentive we become. Do you know who is attentive? It's the person who is who can concentrate on different things or at different things. You can see at the person, you can concentrate for a while, you can analyze, you can ask questions. because you're attentive, you're careful with things you're looking at. And the first word I want to teach you here is the word of inner world. We all live in outer world, but we have our own inner world. And every single person you see on the street has his or her inner world. What's inside under this physical body, right? Philosophers believe that that we are not just the bodies, we're not just the memory boxes. We are someone with this individuality that is hidden from other people's eyes, right? You can see the body, but you cannot see what's inside of this body. And this is beautiful. That's called inner world. If you have the thoughts, you cannot show your thoughts. To show your thoughts, you need to share your inner world to someone. And sometimes we create things. We see the person, we see the person's emotions, and we think that the person feel good, or that our mistakes are bigger than the people's mistake around you, right? And all these feelings or all these things happens to us for a reason, right? And we are judging a lot, right? We say, oh, this person, he has a beautiful car, but I don't. And that's where comparisons is kind of start to destroying us, right? When we compare our lives and life of others, it makes our life more miserable, and we feel bad because there is always a person who is better than us, right? And that's the moment when we should think very deeply about what's matter in our life. But I just don't want to go off topic too much. I want to go with the topic we discussed today. The more we notice, the less we judge, right? When you notice something, you're practicing this skill of being attentive. When you recognize that you don't just have flowers on the grass, you have different colors of these flowers. It's yellow flower, or it's a red flower, or, whatever, poppy, or you have, different daisies, whatever, the flowers, right? Types of flowers. And you recognize the flowers. Then you see the birds, you recognize the birds. Then you see people, and you recognize what they're wearing. Are they clean or dirty? And all these details you can see when you are attentive, right? Why am I saying this to you guys? Just because sometimes we judge people very quickly because we use our templates. Do you know what is a template? It's like, if you remember the discussion with Serge, with Yagodin Serge, we discussed that in NLP, we have these templates or, the models, what you just think of when you see the exact situation. For example, if you see the person and he looks not very well, you start to think that this person, let's say, is not very good person, right? He does things bad. You start recognizing him as bad, right? And this is not very well. This is not something what we should do. We shouldn't judge very fast, right? I accept that modern life is pretty quickly, right? Goes pretty quickly. But we understand that fast life creates different perceptions, ideas, right? And we feel a lot of stress because of this speed. And that could be a reason why we judge pretty quickly, why we decide very quickly. Let's imagine the application where you're looking for a girlfriend or boyfriend. How quickly you can judge there. Very similarly, you look at the picture, you see, okay, this person is beautiful. Swipe right. This person is ugly. Swipe left. You're analyzing the physical appearance, right? How does the person look like? And then you make a decision. So when you're making a decision, this is the judgment process, right? That's how it looks. And then you start analyzing the characters. Oh, this person is rude. Oh, this person is cold. Oh, this person is arrogant. This person is boring. This person is annoying, right? We give these cliches, or we give these measurements, right, to each individual. And according to these measurements, we start to judge, right? We becoming judges, right? And why am I saying this? The faster we live nowadays, the less deeply we see the person. And this is a big, big trouble. Coming back to our world, inner world, right? What we don't have enough time to recognize the inner world of another being. And this thing is crucial. We don't understand the person clearly because we don't see attentively. We don't look at the person enough time. So we make decisions pretty quickly. And that's the first problem, what I wanted to announce in this podcast. So we judge pretty quickly. I don't want to give you the solutions. It's just the observations right now, right? I'm just pointing out at some things, and then maybe in the end, we will answer some reflection questions, and we will understand the picture deeper and clearer, what we can do with these problems. Second idea, what I wanted to show you is invisible life of every single person. When you see a person at the store and this person is angry, you already made a decision about this person. You say, okay, this is a bad person because he's angry, he is shouting, right? But we never ask ourselves the question, why this person is angry, why this person is doing what this person is doing. We've never thinking in the way, maybe this person didn't sleep. Maybe this person, has grief, right? Do you know what is grief? It's like the negative experience is when you're crying for someone. For example, the friend or the family member passed away, died, and then you start to cry and you remind this person, you recalling the memories, right? That's the grief moment. Maybe this person grieving, and that's why he's angry, but you already made a decision that this person is bad. Maybe this person's heart broken. Maybe he just faced the, breakup period. Maybe this person feels anxious because he will have a dating tonight. And he feels so frustrated because he is late. He's getting late. And that's why he's angry. And that's why he does things what he does. Do you see the point? So we don't see the real life of these people. And we judge them very quickly. Why we can't judge these people correctly? Because their lives invisible to us. What does it mean invisible? When you cannot see something, it's invisible. When something is visible, you see it. If the woman is wearing a red hat, you see the red hat, and this hat is visible to your eyes, right? But the person's experience, life experience, is not visible, invisible. And that's the point, what I wanted to show you. And it's beautiful, right? We've never thought about this deep enough. Because when you start living life with this concept that maybe this person is facing some troubles, you start understand more. You start being more supportive. You facing your personal transformation. And this is very important. Another idea what I found, do you know that as more you observe, the more you face softness. So what do I mean by that? When you see people's lives and when you ask these questions, what I mentioned earlier, you becoming a softer person. You becoming soft. You were angry, but not anymore, because you start asking questions. Maybe you have some perceptions, and then boom, your heart is getting soft. You are smiling more. You are welcoming different difficult situations in an easier way. And it transforms you when you just observe people's life. And again, we have a problem. We're judging pretty quickly. We don't have time to observe, you can say. And it's true. But why we don't have time to observe? Because it's a habit. We had created a habit long time ago. And that is why we don't have to observe here and now. It's the same as, some students of mine, they're watching a movie, but they never use the notepad to write down some new words. And this is a problem. It's a little mistake here, right? It's better to write down all the new words, what you get, right, in your life, because you can memorize these words much more effectively if you write them down. You see my point. People haven't created the new routine, and that is why they're not facing good results. The same here. We haven't fixed the problem at first with our observation and judgment, and then we don't have time to observe because we haven't created this routine, right? I hope it's clear. Next, what we should do, another idea, what I want to push here, if people's lives are very complex, difficult, because you can guess, maybe something is wrong there. The same you start think about yourself. Maybe I am having not a simple life, right? And you start thinking about yourself not as a victim, but as an individual who has similar problem as people around you, right? Maybe we need the same softness as well as these people you are soft with, and you becoming soft with yourself. And this is very cool. This is very important because when you have judgment, when you implement the judgment to other people, you start implement judgment to yourself. If you think that other person is angry, you start judging yourself as angry. You start creating the inner pressure. Remember the inner world? You start put inner pressure into your inner world. And this is not very good. This becomes bigger, stronger, and it's terrible. You're starting to be hard on yourself. Everything you do, you call negative, and you becoming a negative person. So here you go. You see the similar idea when you judge other people, you start judging yourself. And that's why our life becoming worse and worse. All right? So what we just discussed, we discussed that we judge pretty quickly. Then we discussed that every single person's life is invisible, right? We don't see it. And if we spend enough time to observe someone's life, we becoming softer to other people and to ourselves. I want to expand my vocabulary a little bit, right? I already said about self-judgment, right? I don't want to judge myself. It's a self-judgment. I want to get rid of it, right? I don't want to implement the inner pressure to my life. I don't want to see this pressure. I don't want to be hard on myself. When you're being hard on yourself, you are like starting to criticize your life, right? You don't want this. You don't want to be hard on yourself. Because your own life, your inner world deserves attention. Your own inner world deserves attention. Attention of yourself, right? And maybe when you create this attention to your body, to your judgment, to your life, you start recognizing this attention from other people. And you becoming friends with these people who see the same value as you. And this is very big, what I think. Okay, so these three main points I wanted to show you today. To be a little bit deeper into the vocab, we can use a couple more words, right? How to change this situation, or at least how we can try to transform. We can become more empathetic, right? You know what is empathy? Empathy is a quality of a person. It's a skill, I would say, right? If you becoming empathetic, you have empathy. And you can have a lot of empathy or a little, right? If you have a lot of empathy, you're empathetic. If you don't have empathy, you have a lack of empathy. So you're not empathetic, right? You don't care about other people. So when we start recognize other people and other people's lives, we becoming empathetic. So we start seeing the background character of other people. Do you know what is a background character? It's what's not visible, invisible. You start seeing the invisible parts of people's lives. And this is another beauty, because we see the surface, but we don't see the inner world, right? And that's pretty big. What else? I think we discussed enough. Now I just want to give you a couple more questions for reflection. And you go ahead and you answer these questions to me. And I will answer these questions to you. So just as an example, you can repeat my questions and answers, or you can make your own answers, because it's like an English practice for you. Okay? My first question is, have you ever looked at a stranger and felt they had a whole hidden life inside? I will ask again. Have you ever looked at a stranger and felt they had a whole hidden life inside? We had started from this point, remember? So, yes or no? If you say yes, you say, I have looked at strangers and I felt they had a whole hidden life inside. If you're subscribed on our Telegram channel, you know that we discuss sunder. So if you have this sunder, you recognize that, people have their own lives, hidden lives inside. So that's the feeling of sunder. So subscribe. What are you waiting for? We post the content almost every 2 days. Check it out. We have our community group as well. So if you want to speak English effortlessly, and if you want to have real communication with me and my mates, come to our communication club, right? Every Sunday, 12 p.m. online. You can join and go ahead. Just go to danilabandarenko.ru to do so. The link's in the description to this podcast. So I have looked at strangers, right? And these lives were beautiful. And I became softer. Thanks to my Sheridar experience, it was my good place where I recovered from different sicknesses and problems. Sheridar helped me to recover and become a better person. Another question to you. Do we judge people too quickly in everyday's life? What we had discussed earlier, judgment. And I had judged a lot pretty quickly. And I'm trying not to do this anymore. I'm trying to avoid this because quick judgment, is not good. It's my value now to never be judgmental, right? Or to never judge people very quickly. It's very important. What changes inside us when we stop seeing only the surface? What changes inside of me when I stop seeing only the surface? When I see a person and the person is not very beautiful, there is a possibility, and I should push this narrative, I should push this idea first, that this person is, if it's a girl, it's a beautiful mother. If it's a man, it's a beautiful father. Maybe this person has a lot of kids and they're very successful. You never know. At least you can create this picture in your mind. And while you're doing so, you're creating this narrative to yourself. You start to think that, hey, I'm not a bad person. You know, I thought that myself, is not a good person because I had played a lot of computer games. And I thought that, man, that thing is bad. But then you recognize that different people see and do different things. Some people read books. Some people watch television. Some people watch series. Some people play stupid phone games. The thing is, everybody does stupid things. And this narrative was close to me. I became softer to myself. That's important. Always think deeper than the surface. Inner world. Okay? Can attention make us kinder? Yes, but you need a lot of bravery, right? I will repeat the question. Can attention make us kinder? When attention is showed to someone, you become better because you spend your essential energy and time, and you share this energy and time with this person. In Buddhism, there is a beautiful phrase: if you have nothing to share, share the smile. If you have nothing to share, share the smile. If you have no smile on your face, okay, share hidden smile. You can't smile physically, but you can try to smile mentally in your mind. That will make a difference, right? That's the position. And next, last but not least question, do you give yourself the same understanding you give other people? Good question. And that was about the last position, right? We think about others, but do we think the same about ourselves, right? Now I think differently about myself because I start to recognize beautiful things. You can see beauty or ugliness that surrounds you, and you decide what do you see more. I can face many bad and good things every day, but I decide what do I concentrate? Where am I attentive? Right? Okay. That's all, right? So that was my speech to you guys. I just wanted to make it beautiful. I just wanted to make this discussion pretty open and quick. I was not creating any texts for today. I was not working on something crazy. I was just being open to you in a very slow pace English. As you see, today's a little bit like, I would say it's like a meditation, I'm flowing as the river. So I'm trying to make my voice very slow, right? the speed of my voice. The tone is more concentrated, and it increases my concentration because sometimes I think about something else and I'm not here and now. Today I've tried a slow pace episode for you guys. And I hope it was interesting because we discussed the topic of the more we notice, the less we judge. If you haven't understood anything, if you haven't understand anything from this episode, it's okay. Just listen or watch this again, clarify some words you've heard of, and start implement these words in your daily speech. It's beautiful and interesting. Hope you had a lot of fun. I hug you all, guys. Make your life better day by day. Hope to see you next episode very soon. Let's stay in touch, and don't forget to subscribe, like our podcast, share the podcast with your friends who are interested in English learning and personal development. Let's stay in touch and have a beautiful night, day, or morning. Have fun. Take care.